Today is going to be an exceptionally short one. It is commentary about reactors to Chantal mostly, with a brief reference to Foodie. I had to make this because some reactors annoy me just as much as Chantal does. The first person I'm going to talk about is, are you serious? Because I like to be fair, I will highlight that I know she loves her dogs very much, which is commendable. What surprises me is that for a woman who is allegedly religious, she also is not very pious, just like the person she criticizes, and who is the focus of her channel, Chantal. A little bit hypocritical, isn't it? I say this because she mocks everything that Foodie does, from coughing to the words she uses. She literally puts everything under a microscope. She analyzes every single thing in others' words and behavior. According to Islam, I don't think you're really supposed to do that. Judgment and meanness toward others in your community isn't allowed. You're really supposed to mind your own business, no? Are you serious is also very defensive about her religion. In general, she's very defensive. When people ask her certain things, she refuses to answer. Like, for example, if someone was to quote the verse from her holy book that instructs followers to cut non-believers down, and if I was to pose the question how she justifies such violence-inciting rhetoric, she would straight out refuse to respond. She would then block me or any inquirer. If you were to ask her about Muhammad encouraging his armies to capture and take slaves that they gifted to friends, slaves they used as servants, as well as objects for physical relief, if you know what I mean, by forcing themselves on these women, again, she will not answer. Really, how can anyone justify these kind of deeds? Perhaps that's why she avoids any questions that call her to examine the theological precepts she goes by. During their conquests, any men Muhammad's army came in contact with, it took the lives of in a violent manner. How is this acceptable, especially as ordered by a religious figure? Even worse, the founder of a religion? Followers will tell you that the wars and conquests were defensive ones, so they're justified. They were necessary for Muhammad to repossess what once belonged to his people. Interesting. Why then do Middle Easterners reject this exact concept where Israel is concerned? The Canaanites and Philistines owned land, which was later usurped by Arabs and Romans and allocated to the people we came to know as Palestinians. I don't wish to become political, but if you're going to apply one rule of standards to someone, then the same rules should be applicable to everybody else. Otherwise it's called discrimination or selective application, otherwise known as double standards. Are You Serious's religion encourages violence, no matter how much anyone from her dogma tries to deny it. It makes me angry when Western women embrace the religion of another ethnicity or culture for the sake of being with a man. This reactor is protesting against Chantal converting so she can have a male in her life, when it's exactly what Are You Serious did years ago herself. There are many things that irritate me in this woman, but I won't mention them all here. When Chantal was describing how her kitten knocks everything off counters, Are You Serious said, "Cats love to do this shit." I would like to correct the side commentary because cats or other animals don't do things just to aggravate humans. Humans need to stop seeing the world with humanity as the core of all existence. You must stop giving interpretations to animal behavior according to human perception, which is limited and self-serving. Kittens and cats knock things around because they enjoy playing with them. They don't do it to be defiant or a nuisance. Another point I wanted to remark on is the feeding of takeaway foods made for human consumption to pets and other animals. Are You Serious said that she orders chicken fried rice from Asian restaurants for her dogs whenever she gets takeout. For many years I worked hospitality, and I can promise to you that in every single Chinese restaurant dish, MSG is present. This substance can be lethal to animals. If your pet has eaten food containing MSG and other spices, and they haven't died, it doesn't mean that they also won't in the future. Spices we use in human cuisine are toxic and lethal for animals. I discussed the point of MSG with a Chinese lady who worked in a Chinese restaurant, and she said to me that every single dish, even if you order MSG-free, contains the harmful substance in it. Broth that cooks use in food contains MSG because it was added during the stock preparation process. The lady also said to me that if they tell you your dish is not going to have MSG in it, they are lying. I wouldn't recommend feeding any takeout food to pets or any animals. In addition, stock is prepared with pork bones, so it's not Muslim appropriate. So, are you serious? Why do you make fun of Foodie for eating pork while claiming to be Muslim when you do the same? Perhaps it's without your knowledge that you're consuming pork, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You still are a very double-standard woman, though. Falafel is another reactor whom I can't stand. She is very abrasive and obnoxious. What is she? 20 years old? A kid speaking rudely and disrespectfully about older people. What does she know about life? Commentary is one thing. Using expletives and judging people for non-consequential things is disgusting. I will close by speaking about Foodie. People discarding cash for her sake. Who on earth has 900 or 1,000 Canadian dollars to throw away at someone's car rental? In today's economy, where everyone is struggling and money is short, it is crazy. Especially when you consider that Chantal won't even use the car, or hardly will use it. It's concerning. Foodie has been looking really sick with her current cold. My comments to her are, was Salah or any man worth you losing your health cover and so many other things? Are you forgetting how much you hated being constantly around people in Syria? You were expected to either have visitors over or go to others' homes for most of your time, every day. That was the reason you left. How could you be craving constant energy-drawing interaction? This lifestyle isn't for everyone. It isn't for somebody who is of an entirely different culture and not used to it. You expect a private life that involves only you and your partner. This will never be possible with someone like Salah. Foodie, do you know how many people around the world live alone, without a husband, or even a housemate? You just need to get used to it. Your entire existence, purpose, and value don't revolve around a man. Why don't you learn to appreciate your own family and spend more time with them, rather than craving to be with strangers as long as that means you have a husband? When you go to the Middle East, you struggle to cope. When you return to Canada, you forget the negatives of life abroad and idealize your time there. What is the bet that within months you will be abandoning your cat and going off to an underdeveloped country to marry another loser?
Thank you for listening. Take care.